So those days we were focusing only on corporate trainings. Yeah, so we used to do trainings based on what the client needs, and more of skill development trainings like leadership trainings and soft skills and things like that. Of course, I used to do my supply chain trainings also. But then during COVID, what happened is, the corporates were busy with their own problems.
And face-to-face trainings were
all stopped, and even corporates were not even thinking of training because they had so many issues, So that completely, stopped basically. We were doing a bit of training here and there online. That's when I changed the strategy. So that's when we were doing coach trainings those days also, but I started focusing more on that. So we got a lot of programs approved by the International Coaching Federation. So we started helping people to become an ICF accredited coach, like we can earn an ICF ACC or a PCC. We started incorporating a lot of tools which are useful in coaching, like neuro-linguistic programming, emotional intelligence. We have something called the well-being coach, which is mindfulness based. So different tools and techniques which helps you to be a better coach. And of course, accreditations, certifications from globally recognized bodies like American Board of NLP, International Coaching Federation, etc. So I shifted the focus there. And that's where the focus is now. Well, we still do corporate trainings as and when we get some projects. But the focus is here. This is where we are exploring to expand in a big way.
Now, before we talk about the individual coaching or training the coaches, but let's talk about the corporate training a little bit more, because is training a luxury in the corporate world?
No. In fact, things have changed so much that today, even, forget about the big organization, they were always investing in training. But today, even the small and medium organizations are investing. Okay. Yeah. So managements are more aware that training is important. We immediately after COVID, we did so many stress management trainings because everybody was stressed out. We still continue to do it. So we have stress management programs for regular employees. We have special programs for the leaders, because the leaders needs to manage their stress and only then they'll be able to manage things externally. They need to manage themselves well. So we have a 2-day retreat where we take them and do stuff with them. So today there's more awareness on the importance of, just like there is more awareness about coaching. So in markets like US and Europe, it was always a very mature market for coaching. But in this part of the world, like Middle East, Africa, Asia, coaching was not something which was, very common. In fact, there was some stigma attached to it also. It's like going to a coach is like going to a psychiatrist. No, but it's not. Today, people realize that going to a coach doesn't mean that there's something wrong. I'm a successful businessman, I can still go to a coach because I want to get to the next level. But yes, so there's more awareness today. So there's more people. In fact, even organizations, earlier a lot of the big organizations used to, have coaches coming in to coach their leadership teams, etc. But today, even small and medium organizations get external coaches to come and coach their employees and their leadership teams. There's a lot of coaching culture that is being cultivated within organizations, where we get a lot of HR heads, L&D, senior leaders being sent by the company to us, to our programs, to get trained and certified as coaches, so that then they become internal coaches within the organization where they coach, because it's expensive to get external coaches for all the employees. So they use internal coaches for a certain segment of the employees, and for leadership teams they get external coaches.
I think this is really brilliant, because all the corporates who are watching this, the corporate executive, the senior executives who are watching this, I think rather than investing in external coaches, they can invest in their people getting trained as coaches, and then they can reap the benefit.
A lot of organizations are doing that. So we get a lot of company sponsored people coming in to do the programs with us, to get trained and certified as a coach, so that they can go back and help the organization. Of course, we get a lot of individuals who on their own wants to learn it, because they want to either use it where they're working, the coaching skills, or they're preparing themselves for what next after the corporate world, and they feel that, yeah, coaching is something which I love doing. So let me learn, get certified, and practice and become better.
That's the thing that I also said in the introduction, right? Like when someone is working in the corporate world for a certain number of years, right, they gain certain skills. They become a master at something, whatever they are working at, and, they're working on, and then it's the natural progression from there to impart the knowledge and kind of teach that to others and become a coach of that.
So again, as a coach, you don't really need to know the subject matter, whatever is there. So, for example, if you are into the business of manufacturing milk, just for example, I don't need to know that. The details, because I'm not a consultant who's going to tell you, hey, you know what, to improve efficiency in your manufacturing, this is what you should do. No, I'm a coach who is helping you to reflect and think. So you may have come to me because you have a challenge for which you want a solution, or you may have come to me because you have a goal. You want to expand your business, you want to do whatever you want to do. So there's a goal. So if you have a challenge, you have come for solutions, to find solutions. If you have a goal, you have come to find out strategies. I am not telling you anything. Neither am I giving you solutions, nor am I giving you strategies. I'm just taking you through a coaching process where I help you to reflect, think deep, and come up with your own solutions, with your own strategies. I'm just hand-holding you through the coaching process. That's all. Yeah, so I don't need to know anything that you because I'm working on your mind. Yeah, I'm working on your mind.
And how does one choose what makes a good coach? Like, what are the kind of qualities should I look for? Because the knowledge of the domain knowledge is not necessary. That's clear. So let's say I'm into the manufacturing of certain products. I want to grow my company. I'm looking for a coach. What qualities should I look for?
So it depends. So again, so you would look for a coach who's specialized in the kind of situation that you want to coach for. So I was speaking to somebody very recently, and so people give themselves different tags. Like, I'm a relationship coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a business coach. Now these tags are just tags that you give to attract the kind of clients that you want to attract. For example, if I am passionate about coaching entrepreneurs, if I love business coaching, I will call myself a business coach. Because if I call myself a relationship coach, an entrepreneur who wants coaching to scale up his business is not going to come to me. So it's just a name that we give. If I call myself a business coach, somebody who has relationship issues will be searching for a relationship coach, not a business coach. So the tag or the name that we give ourselves is based on what is the niche that you want to evolve into, what are you passionate about? Do you enjoy being a life coach, relationship coach, business coach, whatever, executive leadership coach? But the coaching process remains the same. And we are aligned with one of the world's largest coaching bodies, which is ICF, International Coaching Federation. And they are an organization which set standards in coaching. So the coaching process is the same. It's just a name that you give to attract the kind of clients that you want to attract.
And how long is that training process for someone who wants to become a coach? Once they come to you, enroll with you?
So we have different programs. Like I said, we have neuro-linguistic programming-based coach training programs. We have EI-based coach training programs, emotional intelligence-based. We have well-being-based, mindfulness-based coach training programs. And we also do help people to get the ICF, ACC, and the PCC. So I'm myself, I'm an ICF, PCC. So every program is different durations. For example, no, it's normally between 4 days to 9 days.
Oh, okay.
Some are 4 days, some are 7 days, some are 9 days. But ICF, ACC, PCC takes time because there are various requirements that you need to fulfill. Yeah, this is mandated from ICF. So we help them through the complete journey. till they write the final exam with ICF. So we prepare them for that also. So all the requirements are fulfilled at our end. We handhold them through the entire journey. ICF, ACC, normally people take between 6 to 8 months to complete. PCC takes about 8 to 18 months to complete. Yeah, because there's a lot of things that we do for them, but there's a lot of things they have to do themselves. So how fast they do it is up to them. So some people are very quick because they want to complete it within a certain deadline. So they do it. They're committed to it. Some people take time. Some people lose track. Then they come back. They say, no, I want to restart. So yeah, it happens. We keep motivating them. But we are always there for them. I mean, once they start the journey, we are pushing them to complete it. Because unless they complete it, I'm not happy. Yeah, okay, I've got the money, I've done whatever I need to do, but they haven't completed it, and that doesn't make me happy. So I'm happy only when they hit that milestone. Yeah.
As a coach, or let's talk about as a training company, how do you get clients? Because initially when you started, corporate training and this, right? There must have been some ways, some strategies that you must have applied to kind of get your business, get your clients. What was that?
So, they say, your network is your net worth. So initially when we started, it was just the network. And business was good because the network was good, because I've been in Dubai for like 25 years now. So I know a lot more people here than I know back home in India. So initially it was good because a lot of our friends and people who know and, they started attending our programs and it was good. But, once that initial circle they've already done, then they're not going to come back, right? So then the business went up like this and then it started coming down because our immediate circle of people had already done these programs. That's when I realized the importance of marketing. So then, of course, we worked on a marketing strategy. Today, we do a lot of marketing. Yeah. So to give you an example, in those days, if there are 30 people in a training, I would know almost 28 of them, I would know them. They would be either known to me directly or indirectly. And maybe one or two people I wouldn't know. Today, it's the opposite. Today, out of 30 people, I would know maybe one or two. 28 of them I wouldn't know because they've come from the marketing. And today, over a period of, it's been we started in 2015, so it's been 9 years. And people know us. There's a certain credibility that we have created, and there's a lot of word of mouth things that happens, from our own. So we have a huge we call it the UV learning community. And I'm been blessed to have some good clients who've been with us. Like some of the clients have done all the programs that we have, and they say, VP, I've done everything. Bring something new, so I can do.
Yeah,
so that's a kind of
that's
a kind of relationship. Yeah. It's all about how. So it's all about how much of value you add to them. So for me, we are a community. I say that we are family. It's not like you came to my program, I took the money, I gave you the training, gave you the certificate, tata bye-bye. No. I will keep in touch with you. So there are so many things that we do as part of the community, So we do regular meetup sessions. We have various, we have something called Knowledge Connect where we get people, experts to come and speak. And these are all free and complimentary for our community members, There's a lot of things that we do. We also have regular meetup sessions that happen, practice sessions that happen. We have something called the Coaching Mastery Group, where twice a month, we have online practice sessions, and where an expert PCC will facilitate the process. We have coaching labs that happen regularly. We have mentor coaching that happens regularly. So this, we have something called the Mindfulness Mastery Group, where again, people who have done the mindfulness program, we meet once a month for 1 hour, and the facilitator, Nitin, we do the meditation and take them through the process and answer any questions that they have. And some people who are not on that track, who have not been doing things, they come back to this and they get back on track. There are ways to.
It helps.
It really helps. So so it's like a family. We stay connected. And a lot of things that I try to do with them. We even have something called a drama company where it's just fun things. So we meet once a month and anybody can come. It's free for our community. And we just play games, do a bit of improv, so theater stuff. Just 1 hour, have fun. That's it. 90 minutes, have fun once a month. So we do a lot of things together. Yeah.
Do you do anything on for entrepreneurship like that? Is there something about
So I do so in whatever way I can, I do a bit of mentoring. Yeah, so all these people who are from our community who do programs with us, and some of them, they are not very clear about how do you. So I always tell people that doing a coach training and getting certified, completing the training, practicing so that you become a good coach, this is the easy part. The difficult part is after that. How do I get my clients?
Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of people are unaware. How do you start off how do you become an entrepreneur? How do you start off a business? How do you get clients? How do you do your marketing? So we help them. And this is all complimentary that we offer, we don't charge them. So whatever support, we share our experiences, we support them in whatever way we can to get their business up and running. And of course, we're always there with them.
So for someone who's watching this and they would like to get in touch with you for getting trained to be a coach or guidance and help, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Oh, just give me a call. I'm more than happy to speak.
And your website is
uvconsultants.com now, but we are rebranding. So like I said, we are exploring growth. So we are rebranding. So since the focus is now on coach trainings, and that's where we want to expand. So we are changing the company's name. Okay. So from probably by end of April, we'll complete the rebranding process. So we're becoming Coach Skills Training. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted a name which is aligned to the core that we do. Yeah. So UV Consultant, sometimes people misunderstand that it's a consultancy company and they don't relate it to coach trainings and things like that. So we would be rebranded to Coach Skills Training. That's happening. That's in the process. So UV Consultants will become Coach Skills Training very soon. And we're also, talking to a lot of our participants, members of our learning community who are from different countries. And they want to collaborate with us. So we would be collaborating with them to start branches of Coach Skills Training in different countries. So we're thinking of globalizing it. Yeah. So hopefully by end of this year we should be there in we're already there in India and UAE. Okay. We should start by end of the year in Canada and one more country. And by end of 2025, I hope we are there in almost 10 different countries. Okay. That's the goal.
All the best. All the best. When you look back at your journey, right from that child who moved to Bombay and in different places of Bombay, the naughty child to the naughty grown man that you've become now, and still a child within. Who would you like to, looking at your journey, right, like this, who would you like to give the credit to for your success?
There are many people, a lot of friends, a lot of support system has been, I've been blessed with some good people around me. But if I were to think of the top two people, it would be my mom and my wife, the two women in my life. Of course, whatever I am today is thanks to my mom, because I was the youngest, and she was almost 50 when I was born to her. So I was everything for her, and for me also it's the same. And then, of course, after that, the other lady who came into my life is my wife Rekha. I mean, we've been married for 30 years. This year we are completing 30 years, and these are two people who've been the biggest supporter. And but again, like I said, I've been blessed with a lot of good friends. Who many of them are like family, who have stood by me, and good mentors, good service providers, trainers. A lot of so. I always say, it's a business, yes. But whoever is involved with my business, they're not like business associates. They're more like family. So all my vendors, all my service providers, we're all like family. My employees, my trainers. I mean, I have amazing relationship with my trainers, and a lot of them I've been like working with them for so many years now.
I must tell you, a lot of that credit goes to you as well, because that's your personality, the way you interact with people, the way you value, relationship. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's I know.
but yeah, I mean, God's blessing.
And
Thankful.
if you were to give some advice to the people who are, specifically the people who are in the corporate world right now, or in a job, and they want to become an entrepreneur, they want to start their own business, what's your advice for them?
So I would always say that, it's very important to give it a proper thought. I always encourage people to be on their own. Yeah. I'm not somebody who has done that and then say, no, it is very difficult, don't do that, get your salary and stay safe. No, I won't do that. If you have the passion to do something on your own, you should. But then think deep. So when I initially planned that I'm going to get out of my corporate world, me and my wife, we sat and we worked through things, So we were in a 3-bedroom apartment. We left that. We moved to 1-bedroom apartment because, we couldn't afford that rent. And then after a couple of years, we came back to that 3-bedroom apartment. Yeah. So planning is very important. Having a strong support system, So there is sometimes I see people taking decisions without involving their family. I say, don't do that. Your family should know what you're doing. No, they won't understand. No, they will if you explain it to them properly. So getting the support of your near and dear ones, like your family members, your wife, your spouse, whoever, husband, children, okay, they may not be able to say much if they are small, depending on their age. Your parents, if you're with. So talking to them is important. Yeah. They may not agree with your line of thinking, but then you have to convince them why you're doing what you're doing, and get them onto your side. That is very, very important. Yeah. So that, and then of course, keeping your mind open. Don't think of that. Don't feel shy to ask people advice. Because unless you ask, you will not get it. So seek out people in your life who could be good mentors to you based on, whatever you want to do, and ask them.
Ask for help.
Yeah, ask for help. Ask for guidance. Yeah.
And do you think it's okay to start with one thing, and because you've done it yourself, right? Like you've pivoted, you've changed the course depending on the situation. Because a lot of people may start with an idea that they want to do this, but then life is.
So I will tell you, which is something I didn't tell you, but I'll keep it short. So when I initially quit my corporate world in 2013, I started a business, again related to training, which failed miserably after 18 months. So I worked on that project for 18 months, 1.5 years. I invested everything that I had. My wife even took a bank loan to invest money in that. By the end of 18 months, I had nothing. So I was down there, right there without nothing, and I had 2 options. Get up and go back to a job. This was like almost end of 2014 I'm talking about, or beginning of 2015. Get up and go back to a job and, just forget about my dreams of being an entrepreneur, or dust myself off and restart from zero. And I decided to do restart. And that's when so I will not go into details of what I did and what, but today when people ask me, VP, how did you make this a success? What is the secret of your success? Is it the experience from your corporate world, etc.? I say no. So 80% of the success which I have, I give credit to that 18 months of failure. Because what I learned in that 18 months is what helped me the most. The rest of the 20% I will give to all my knowledge and all my experience and everything else. Failure is a big teacher. So when you take that initial step, don't be scared of failing. Because then you will never, So there is nothing called failure. like they say, it's either you succeed or you learn. What is failure? Failure is that you try to do something and you had a certain goal, but you didn't achieve that goal. You tried, but you didn't reach there. So just take the learnings from the experience and get back again on the road. So I always tell people that you need to be brave enough, embrace your failures, love failures, because that is what teaches you to
Absolutely.
yeah. So a bit of calculated risk is important. When you become an entrepreneur, remember that things may not always go as per plan. Patience is very important. You may not get results as fast as you want it to. So one thing I really picked up as an entrepreneur is to be patient. Yeah, because I know consistent efforts that I'm putting in, I'm not getting the results within the time frame that I thought it would come, but it is going to come.
Eventually.
Eventually it will.
Yeah.
So I need to be patient.
Yeah.
So patience is one key. Taking risk, having that appetite to take calculated risk. You should know what the worst case scenario is going to be and should be prepared for that. Okay, in worst case, this is going to happen. I'm not going to die. So this will happen and I'm okay with that. And if you're not okay with that, then tweak your plans accordingly. But if you're okay with that, go ahead and be sincere about whatever you're doing, put your heart and soul into it. So I may have been working when I was in the corporate world for, 8-9 hours every day. 8 hours is office, but you end up working for an hour or two more. But when in my business, even today, in the last, since 2013, I would say, I work much more. I work almost, 10 to 12 hours. But I enjoy it. I don't get tired because it's my baby. I'm doing it for myself, right?
You're passionate about it.
You're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you end up putting in a lot more efforts. And that consistent efforts is what gets you there.
Stay focused on that. Yeah. Brilliant. VP sir, thank you so much for sharing that knowledge and the wisdom with us. One last question as we wrap up here. How was your experience being on the Be Your Own Boss podcast?
Oh, I loved it. In fact, for a long time, especially after COVID, I've not been speaking much. Life is busy, and after COVID, getting business back on track required a lot of efforts, required a lot of thinking and re-strategizing and doing things differently, experimenting with things and stuff. So my focus was there because that was the most important thing, everything else, I kind of went slow with things. But now, things are slowly getting back. So last year, after many years, of the COVID years, 2013 was a good year for us. And hopefully 2023 was a good year for us. And hopefully 2024 will be much better. Things are improving, But so I haven't done too much of speaking, so it was a pleasure connecting with you and your invitation to be here. And
with best wishes from Be Your Own Boss podcast. Here's
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I just hope that, and like I said, anybody, anybody who wants to have a chat, get some advice, I'm always available. I don't mind. This is some way of giving back to the society, some way of. Recently we started something called EduConnect, where we block 3 seats in every program for the students. And it is with 80% discount. 20% that they pay is just for the hotel charges and all that. The training is free, the certification is free from our side. There's something. So I would always like to, passionate about giving back to the community. And even I say, like I said earlier, it's a community that we are building. A community of empowered people who will then help themselves, but at the same time, as a coach, as a trainer, as a therapist, as a counselor, help others. So in a way, we are trying to touch maximum lives through this. So it's a business, yes, But at the same time, there's a larger vision behind the business. It's not just about running a business. And I enjoy doing that. So anybody who sees this video and would like to have a chat with me, more than happy. Please give me a call and connect with me.
Okay to share your number on the...
Yeah. Of course. Please.
Phone number and your website. Probably your LinkedIn profile as well on the...
Yeah. I'm active on Facebook and LinkedIn. So yeah, they can contact me anytime. I would be more than happy to have a chat and help them in whatever way I can. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and lovely conversation, lovely talking to you. So thanks for sharing your journey and your story with us.
My pleasure, man. Take care and all the best with be your own boss. And I told you this when we were chatting on the phone that I've been following you and I like the consistency with which you're doing things. So that consistency is very, very important. I see a lot of my friends who start something, even a podcast, after a few sessions and they don't do. I ask them why you stopped. Oh, I'm busy with this, I'm busy with that. But what is important is when you start something, be consistent with it, Then be prepared. No matter what, I'm going to do this. And that's the consistency which I really admire and which will give you the results that you're seeking by doing this, And there's not so much of knowledge sharing that is happening. And even if one person today, somebody who sees this session and one person benefits from it, I mean, that's what we want, right?
Like,
that's the whole idea.
Somewhere one person gets benefited and their life changes.
That's what. Yeah. So you're doing a good job, and I really loved this session with you today and look forward to meeting you more often.
Yes, definitely, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was VP Menon, the founder of UV Consultants, and you've been watching and listening to Be Your Own Boss.